everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at crude oil on a possible fake-out breakout of these highs. So crude oil on a 5-minute chart has a flag pattern that was setting up, and you can kind of see it forming here. You've got the flag coming down, and then we broke up above that, and the entry was right there. And this area that we're bouncing in right now is the profit target area of a typical flag. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking for price to fail here, which you can see we are having quite a bit of trouble making these new highs. And if we fail to make those new highs, then we can look to take this as a reversal right back down to test those flag highs down here. Now, we are before the crude oil open, so chances are we might catch a move from the open, but I want to get the order in here soon. So we'll get this down here, just one tick underneath this candle high. So we're looking to sell short here at 99.02. The stop is going to go just at the highs here, one tick above 99.10. And the typical loadout that we're going to be using is just the first target at +5, second one at +10, third one at +20. Now, because we're coming into the open here, it's about 10 minutes before the open. Depending on how long this trade lasts, we might be able to get this opening to really kind of give us a really strong push right back down to these lows again. But that just, I mean, we've got 10 minutes before that happens, so we'll have to wait and see. But basically what we're looking for here is just this rejection of these highs. The fact that we can't even close above these after such a strong aggressive move up really shows us that overall the buyers just don't have what it takes. They've run out of steam. So in this case, we had our first target filled, and I'm going to add the data series on here so we can see what's going on. So let's get the text and markers on there. So we sold short at 99.03. First target was taken off at 98.97 for 5 ticks on 2 contracts. So we're still short 2 contracts. Overall, are up about $100 right now. The stop is still up here. I'm not going to move the stop until we get a little bit more of a push down to fill this +10. Once we get this +10, then I'll look to move the stop to break even. But until then, essentially, we've made $100, and right now we're risking pretty close to about 200. So worst case, we lose $100 on the trade. Not a huge deal. In this case, the risk reward on this trade is quite significantly higher than that. So I'm more than happy risking a little bit more. Now in this case, because we are coming down to get the test of the top of this flag zone right here, what I want to do is I want to place my target a little bit further down. This +20, although it may be a pretty solid area to look for a target, we can probably get a little bit more than that. So what I want to do is we'll just use this last swing, and we can actually see sort of a wedge that kind of appeared right here on this breakout. And you can see with this fake out at these lows here, these lows might be an area to target. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative, and I'm going to target these previous highs right here. So we'll bump our target down to 98.69, one tick ahead of that actually, just to be a little bit safer. So overall right now, we've got the second target sitting at +10 at 98.92, then the final target from our entry, come on, ruler tool, from our entry. All right, it's not letting me click, so we're one tick off, so 99.01 instead of 2. Down to the target area, 31 ticks, add a tick to that since we're one tick off, so 32 ticks on the final target if we do get a push down. Now, because we're looking for such an extended move down, the amount of time that this is going to take is probably going to put us past the opening bell. So if we do come into it, we haven't filled this +10 by the time we start reaching the opening bell, we'll drop the stop back to break even just to kind of protect the profits overall. But for right now, we're more than capable of waiting. Since it's only 8:51 right now, we still have another 9 minutes. About another 9 minutes or so before we start seeing that opening bell kick in. So we've got the first target filled at +5, 2 contracts off there. So we've got a total banked of $100, 2 off at 50, so 50 times 2 is 100. Looking for the next target here at 98.92 for another 10 ticks or $100. And then the overall fill down here at 98.70. Again, this might take a little bit of time before we get that filled. So what we'll do is we'll come back in a little bit once we start getting some price action movement, and then we'll see how we do. All right, we're back. So we just had this bump up in volume right before the open here. So what we're expecting to do is, since these buyers failed here, I'm looking for the sellers to really come in with a vengeance now. This failure to push higher here from the buyers and the size of this wick right here just gives us a huge heads up that the buyers they just don't have what it takes right now. We're looking for a sell-off further down. So we are nearing now. We're getting a pretty solid push down here, actually nearing into our target area. Now what I'm going to do, since we've gotten such a large push down, is I'm going to lock the stop up a little bit, and we'll just put it above this candle right now at 98.91. I don't want to give any more back than absolutely necessary, and even then we've already still got locked in for some reason, it won't let me click that price level. Again, we're one off for 10 ticks, so we've got 11 ticks locked in now at this point. We did come close. We came 2 ticks away from our target. That's perfectly fine. More likely than not, when you get these big bursts down, you get a little bit of profit taking first, and then a continuation move back down again. That's basically a way for the sellers, in this case, to reload their positions. So I am looking for this to continue lower, pretty much looking for it to come into this previous area of resistance, in this case, because of this wedge down here. Looking for price to come down into that area for then to get a little bit of a fill, maybe, there we go, a little bit lower, and probably a bounce up from here. So overall, a really, really solid trade. Just had our final target filled here. So again, we had 2 off at +5, 1 off at +10, and then the last one off. Again, that ruler just won't let me click on my price, so we need to add a tick, but down here to our fill at 31, so we had 32 ticks. So again, we'll use our handy dandy little calculator tool, 32 plus 5 plus 5 plus 10, banking $520, 52 ticks on the trade, on a nice flag breakout into the profit target to reverse it straight back down again to test the flag. So overall, really, really strong trade, really nice price action we're seeing on crude oil today. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade, and don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. Have a good one. Bye.